Good morning, Miss Coco. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you,
Good,
Superintendent,
good.
for seeing me.
Good. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. I know. I think I had heard that you had been to New Jersey to see your mom.
Yes, I have.
Is everything going okay for you?
Everything's going well, thank you for asking.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Well, today we just wanted to meet to talk about your evaluation for the end of the year here at Sunnydale. And how do you think it's went this year?
Well, we've had our trials, we've had our tribulations, and we've had our excitement.
Mm-hmm.
And all in all, I think we're a good school.
Mm-hmm.
Our faculty is very well coordinated with each other. They are. The climate is really well.
Mm-hmm.
They communicate well with each other. Yeah. So I think we're improving.
Well, I hear great things. I know you've been here, 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard some positive things. And
thank you.
I just want to, we're going to talk about some things here that will be some strengths and maybe some areas of improvement. But, I hope you know that that's always my, that's what I want to do. I'm here to help. And we're both here for our students and this community. And I have a couple things that I want to talk about with you, and I'm sure you'll have some questions as well. But here to certainly work with you. And first of all, I normally just like to start out with, if you, at the beginning of the year, we have you do your self-assessment, and out of those standards, was just curious. Is there one that's a strength that you know is really a strength, and then one that's maybe a weakness, a place that you'd like to work?
I think my strength is political. I keep my faculty up to date on all the political items that are coming across, so they're not blindsided by new rules and regulations that are going to come in the next few months or in the next year. The thing I really need to work on is external development with the community. I think we really need to work on that a little bit.
Okay, all right. Well, and I just think that it's good that you recognize that, and certainly if there's anything that we can do throughout the year to help support you, anything I can do, I'm here for you. And I'll take note of that, and as we go through the year, if there are some things that come up across my desk that if there's some professional development or something that I could send your way, I'll certainly do that for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. We'd also, in your strengths, working with that political environment, I know, we may call on you from time to time because, public education under attack, and it's good to have people like you.
Most of our job is political.
That's
so
exactly
we need to stay
right.
on that.
Well, if we just jump right in, if you
Sure.
look at the our scores here at the school, we look at 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. Anything significant that you want to talk about with that? And it's not all about scores. That's just one piece. It's just one piece of the puzzle that we talk about, and just curious what you might have seen.
Okay. Our reading scores are better than what they have been. They're better than our math, but we still have a lot of room for improvement. And I think that has a lot to do with our brand new young staff that we have, just fresh out of college. They're just learning how to fit into the classroom.
Right.
So classroom management is always a big one for that. And so along with that comes, reading scores and math scores and science scores.
Have you been able to figure out exactly why in the 5th grade? I know that in 5th grade, the math, if you compare it with the district and with the state, 5th grade seems that they have the lowest math, but they also have the highest reading. It's kind of an odd, and it's not really odd, but it's just different. Do you have any?
Well, our 5th grade math, part of our tribulations that we had this year, we had 2 teachers that left on maternity leave, and one had an extended medical issue with the maternity leave, and so we've had subs in and out of that classroom, and as you can tell, that 29.5% will show.
Right. How do you address those different subgroups?
Well, we're trying to do data, examine our data and look at the data with the benchmarks, and looking at that and just trying to decipher through all that data that comes through on those benchmarks. We're going to try a couple math labs next year. We're going to take the ESL and the one EC assistant, and we're going to take them out a part of the time just to booster that, just in case we have that same math problem again or that same teacher problem on maternity.
Well, I know over at Liberty Elementary, they've done a lot of work with their Hispanic and African American subgroups. That might be you might want to call that principal as well. I know you guys are friends. Go take some time, maybe go sit down, maybe take a team of teachers over there and just see what they're doing, and there may be something that you could take from there. Let me know what you come up with. If you don't see anything that speaks to you, I mean, we can go outside the district. I know several superintendents around that would be willing to let you come in.
My SIT team and we were discussing that the other day about visiting other schools. So
Great.
thank you for your support on that.
Absolutely. So as we just kind of move on, you kind of hinted around that you did have some teachers that were out on maternity leave, but looking at your teacher growth, your school growth on EVOS and teacher growth, I noticed that you have 6 teachers that are in the red. What types of things are those teachers that are they going to be with? Are some of those going to be with us next year, or have we come up with ways that we're going to be able to help? Or
I have really good teacher retention. I will say that for us. I believe it's somewhere in the 80%.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly, but I think most of our teachers are going to stay this year. Some of them, I think 2 of them may go closer to home.
Okay.
So we'll look into that and see how secure they really are in staying or in transferring. But what I'd like to do is the ones, I think I have 3 that are in blue, if I'm looking at my data correctly.
You do. We're
proud
of them.
I have 3 in blue, and what I'd like for them to do is to be teacher demonstrators. So in the classroom, let them keep teaching their classroom, because I still want them in the classroom.
Right.
But on the planning period of the other teachers, so the red teachers, I want them to go in at least twice a month on their planning. So while they're out in their BEPs, their specials, I want them to come in twice a month, observe that classroom, and switch between the 3. Just don't stick with just one teacher. Look at all 3 of them.
Right.
Visit all 3 of them, and we'll have like a sign-up sheet so I know where everybody's going during planning. For the greens, they're I got 15 of them, but they're still not at that level. They're good teachers.
I noticed that there were 12 of them that were green, but they were on the negative side of green.
Yes, and so I'm going to have them do twice a month also, but till Christmas. I think they just need a little tweaking done. Even though they're green, I think there's still a lot of improvement for those as well. So I think that's what we're going to plan on doing. I think that is the most cost-effective thing that we can do at this moment.
Well, I trust you, and I know that you made some great decisions with those folks that you've hired, and if there's anything that we can do, or in HR, if there's something that they can do to help you, just let us know.
Okay. I'm looking for some technology. We've got a huge technology issue that we really need to address in our school. I'd like to have the IT department come and give me an assessment. Is it, the wiring, or is it our computers are just too old for our system?
I've noticed that from the data that you do have your teachers, and we're going to talk about that. The teacher working condition survey, they have that's one of the strengths that they say is we have excellent internet speed, but we just don't have enough. We just don't have enough devices. So yeah, we'd be glad to send them out here and let them provide whatever information that you need. And if you need them to talk with your teachers, just let us know.
Okay.
We can send the technology director out as well. Kind of next on my list to talk about was, I know the teacher working condition survey has come out, and I know that you always like to use that here, or in your other schools you have you've really used that survey. So I've just kind of gone through and looked at some of the lowest the areas of improvement, and then maybe some of their strengths. And I just thought we could just kind of talk about that for a minute. I think having teachers feel supported is certainly, I know you agree with me, is extremely important. Hey, I saw on here where it talked about facilities and resources, that office supply. There was a huge difference between here and the district, and we were 46.6 points kind of off. I don't think teachers must feel like that they have adequate supplies. Is there anything that you've...
After talking with my teachers at the last faculty meeting, with the population that we serve, we're 49% African American. We have 65% free and reduced lunch. It's day-to-day supplies for the classroom, and I didn't know if it was like office supplies kind of thing or classroom office supplies. And it's classroom office supplies for the classroom, for the kids, the pencils, the paper, the notebooks, the folders. So we're going to look into that, see if we can't work up with something with one of our community members.
PTO or communities
PTO.
in schools. That would be a good...
So we're going to try that.
All right, great. There were two other points, and I'm not going to dwell on anything negative. I just think that these are areas of growth, and things that you can, certainly I think that office supply, that's something that you should be able to easily, I'm sure, find some support with that. Looks like that parent support for teachers. Teachers feel like that that's pretty low. You have any thoughts on that as to why?
We're thinking about going to the community meetings instead of just a.
That's great.
Just a school, but taking the meetings to the community. I think we have a transportation problem with some of our parents, and so they won't be able to make it to all the meetings. Okay. So let's take it to them. We'll get a teacher from each grade level, and then we'll go to that community. The next time we'll go to a different community and take a different set of teachers.
Okay. All right. Lastly, managing student conduct, students following the rules. Looks like some of the teachers don't think the students are following the rules, but your suspension rates are, I would say, relatively low. What have you been able to kind of figure out maybe what caused that?
Well, we're going to start off the year a little bit better. We're going to do some Harry Wong videos at the beginning of the year for classroom management, do some procedurals issues instead of here's your rules and here this is what's going to happen. Let's do some procedurals. Let's alleviate that problem to begin with. We're going to try Harry Wong. We're going to do the videos. We're going to get a couple one of his books for these brand new teachers. I don't think they have the classroom management that we should have for our type of student, for our population. So I think that might help them also. We're also going to bring this up at the summer retreat with my SIT team, our SIT team, and we're going to examine it and see what else we can do. Okay. See what, maybe it's our student handbook that needs to be improved. Maybe we really need to focus on that. So we're going to address that at our summer retreat.
All right, good. I think, I always like to end with talking about some of those positive things. It looks like that from that teacher working conditions, and you kind of touched on it a few minutes ago, it looks like that teachers are happy with our infrastructure, with our speed of our internet, and it looks like they've had some staff development there with how to utilize the instructional technology. I commend you on that. Did you, it says utilize previous teacher working condition survey data as well. I think your teachers feel really strong about that. So,
yes.
Was there any strength of that teacher working condition survey that you felt like that you were most proud of?
I think our leadership, our teacher leadership, and my leadership, I think is a positive. I think they believe in me, which is setting a good example for that climate.
Great.
That the whole culture of it, and I think you got to win over the staff first, and then we can win over the community.
Yeah.
So I think it's like a stepping stone.
Right. Well, I think that I think everything. I mean, you understand some of the areas that we need to work on,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got some also areas that I think you need to celebrate. I'd like to, end with some expectations. I really do want you to look at the facilities and resources and figuring out how we can get those teachers what they need. And I think through communities and schools, PTO, something like that. I think that's going to help. Somehow we've got to get these parents engaged with our
Exactly.
teachers, and it could be that you might want to look at those what the expectation is that the teachers communicate with parents. Whether are they making phone calls? Are they making positive phone calls? Are they are they going? Do they make home visits? I mean, do they some different things like that? Just make sure that you've touched base with them. And think about that over the summer.
Okay.
And student discipline. I agree. The Harry Wong. I think that would be great. Our MTSS. We're moving with implementing MTSS. You might want to look at that PBIS section in there for your behavior. I think that'll go right along with it. We've got some schools through the district that have had some success with that.
Okay.
But otherwise, I think capitalize on this. You've got teachers that are interested in using technology, and I think that's traditionally that's a low area where we have teachers that are getting our students engaged. It looks like that you have done a lot of work with PD in that area, and I commend you on that.
Thank you.
So and continue to go back and assess yourself as you go through the year, and if there's anything we can do for you, let me know. I'm always there. Feel free to call. You've got my cell number.
Yes, I do.
Anytime I can be of service to you.
Okay.
But thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right.